and we are on the air. Hi, my name is Mimamo. My name is Anatoly Balaev, and here we are talking with Merrilin Hэмilton. Hello, Merrilin.
Hey, hi, Anatoly.
And this unexpected, this is very like suddenly happened interview is about the short video Marilyn had sent to me about her way to explain two words. I asked her does how do these two words sound for her, and these two words are intelligence. And Marilyn had so amazing video. And when I realized how deep her vision, how deep her perspective, how vast her perspective is on these two words, I wanted to ask her. We will translate this video. We will have that Russian subtitles, but before we publish it with Russian subtitles, I wanted to record this short video. Marilyn, where this amazing view came from? What is the history of this perspective of yours?
So you asked me.
Why are you? What is it? What is it all about? Your vision about evolutionary intelligence.
So thank you for the question, Anatoly. Evolutionary intelligence to me is at the core of how I think about integral city. For me, a city is the most complex human system that we have yet created. It's more complex for me, from my perspective, than a nation, because a city is a fractal of the human system. So I think of the city as an individual human writ large.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, then we can look back at our own evolutionary history as a species and see how we've evolved in a bio, psycho, cultural, social way. And so I work with human systems, teams and organizations and sectors and communities, and they all are part of a city. But a city is also one of those systems at a much larger scale than any of the others and holds all the others as elements of that system. You probably remember, like most people on Earth do, of seeing for the first time a picture of Earth from space. So I'm of the age where I remember seeing it when the first astronauts took that picture, and it was pretty amazing. So we now have a name for the feeling or the impact or even the worldview that emerges when you see Earth from space. And it's called an overview. And there's an overview effect.
Overview effect. Mm-hmm.
An overview effect actually impacts and reorganizes all the things that you ever held before.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, we realized what an infinitesimally small place we are in the immensity of the universe, but also how precious, what
Oh yeah.
a great
Oh yeah.
treasure our home planet is. And so that has sort of grown in me over the years as I was working through my study and emergence and assistance and catalyzing of human systems. And when I came to look at the city, I came to understand that it had a very particular role in the evolution of our planet.
Mm.
I listen to as many scientists and experts as I can. And speaking with people like you, I'm always learning about more because I can't possibly keep up with everything. But one day, probably about 8 years ago, I was listening on the radio to another interview, just thinking about this interview today. Maybe someone will hear this and have the same kind of
Yes.
impact. I was listening to James Lovelock.
James
James
Lovelock.
Lovelock is the man, the physicist, who coined the term of that Gaia, not just the term, but has a belief that Gaia is a living system. Gaia is the name of our planet. And Gaia, as a living system, he believes, has evolved us humans as her reflective organs. So when I heard him say humans are Gaia's reflective organs, I had like all the hair on the back of my neck stand right up. And I was driving a car and I was so moved I had to pull over to the side of the road.
Okay.
And I felt that I interpreted his words in a particular way. I thought the cities are Gaia's reflective organs. Organizations are the organelles within that system, and we humans are the cells. So it's the fractal trajectory, or the way we can think. And as I said, that I see cities as the human system writ large, but we are cells. We are serving in a variety of different organizations or organelles, and those organizations have systems of organization, meta-organization themselves, like meridians or respiratory system or circulatory system. And together, we actually are serving Gaia in terms of being able to reflect our consciousness. That is what has evolved through us, to be conscious of our consciousness. And so this isn't just for our own benefit, apparently, but it is Gaia herself maturing. And so if we do not fulfill the sort of evolutionary calling that she's given us, then I'm sure she'll figure out some other way to do that. So that's why it's very exciting for me to think about cities, not just as, in English we say, bricks and mortar. You know, like you have a picture of Seattle behind you there of all those buildings, glass and concrete and steel. And that's what a lot of people think cities are. But for me, cities are human systems.
Oh, yeah.
And it is about being able to appreciate the capacity and the contribution that humans make in this particular large system called a city. So that's a little bit about the history of where it comes from.
Oh, yeah.
I can say a little bit more where I think about where it's going, but maybe you want to ask me something else at this point.
Merrilin, we will meet again in our course, in our evolutionary intelligence course. And maybe this vision will be the exact subject that we must share with Russian, Ukrainian, Kazakhstan participants of our Russian-speaking participants of our course, because I believe that this I have that goosebumps. I don't know how to say it, because this is like coming inside me, your words and this vision and this exact realization of evolution itself, of the process which is like 14 billion years coming through us in a in a cosmic perspective, in a vast perspective. And I'd like to share with you this small vision of not small, on another vast vision of that Chinese writer I mentioned. I pronouncing correctly, but he is the author of the 3 books, and the first book is the 3-body problem. 3-body. Barack Obama had read this book when he was president, and the books are quite pessimistic, like the civilization of humans, like collapsing. I mean, it comes to the end. Not everyone, not everybody, but the Earth and the whole solar system is vanished. But there is a very interesting perspective. People wanted to create a tomb, like a memory of human civilization. And they took one of the distant planets, like Pluto, for example, and they build like it's a story of this Chinese author, build a tomb in there, tunnels, and they ask themselves, what must be the carrier of the human knowledge? Should it be like a C-discs? Should it be a chips or something? But they realize the CD is about 15 years and 50 years and they're gone. Chips is about 100 years and they're gone. And they wanted to build they wanted to human history is left for thousands of years, maybe millions of years. And they discovered that the only way to keep our memory for a long time is carved in a stone. The way we started, we carve our stones by symbols, and this is the way humanity ends. They carve our stone with our pictures, with our knowledge, with our formulas, with our like culture, and so on. And as for me, it's like a connection between the beginning and the end, and it's like a same. And this is only one pictures of that story. The story is amazing about like universe's history and so on. And I would like, I believe that it was impressing for me, and I'm sure it will be very interesting for you. But we have a very small time, and I want to ask you that cosmic perspective of yours, that perspective of being human, humanity being as a galaxy, presented as a as a galactic civilization.
Yes.
What do you think? Will we be the same? Will we? What should? What must be changed? What changes must be accomplished with us? What changes must be done with humans, that we must survive here, with that we must keep our planet alive and bring this alive sparkle to the galaxy, the sparkle of life. What our skills and what our uh, what should we ourselves to become to this idea become real? What should we keep and what should we change in ourselves?
I will give you a very small answer because I don't have time for a longer
Okay,
one today,
sorry.
but this can be where we go on our longer interview.
Yeah.
I think that stones do not capture the evolution of the human spirit. Consciousness does. And if you
Yes.
believe that the cosmos was emerging out of the big breath of consciousness,
Yes.
then it is a very different picture we create when we think of consciousness, culture, and the circles of care and compassion. That is what I'll talk with you about.
Thank you very much, Merlin. I am looking forward to this our interview in our class when we meet each other to share this view with our participants of our course. Thank you very much. I'm proud to live on the same planet with you in this exact moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anatoly. Have a great day.
Have a great
Bye.